Hey you guys, how you doing? This isn't gonna be a long video. Just checking in. How y'all doing? It is really raining right now here in Washington D.C. But nonetheless, I had a new revelation and I wanted to share it with you guys as I got it. And I found that the narcissist has to gaslight themselves in order to be able to discard you. Now, I know that we think that they don't have any emotions, and to some degree, yeah, they don't. Okay. But they do have emotions somewhere for themselves and what they want to do, right? And they also are always really concerned about what outsiders think, what other people are going to think about them, what other people already think about them, right? So they know that they can't just like throw you away once you've been introduced to their friends who already know what they are and who they are, and their family who already know what they are and who they are, and to your community and things like that. However, though, they still like to cover, their bases. And the way that they cover their bases is to slowly but surely gaslight themselves into believing that there are terrible things about you, so much so that they are then justified in what they already planned to do when they met you, which was throw you away, right? And the way that they do this is by causing the problems that they're going to use in order to victim blame to their friends and family and the community. So they have to cause those problems, but they can't just outright cause them, right? They have to actually calculate a setup. And the setup is actually also against themselves mentally. Here's what I mean by that. So they know that you're a good person, right? They know that you are decent to them. They know that you have not harmed them in any way, right? So they know that they will then feel the shame because they don't really get guilt. Not guilt. Guilt usually will tell you to tell somebody that you're sorry and make an apology, right? They don't want to do that. That's why I don't really get a real apology from a narcissist unless it's transactional. But they do feel shame, and in order to avoid that shame of throwing you away, they have to build a case against you, which then means that they have to also take on the intricate task of basically tricking their own self, right? Their own mental self. They're everything about themselves. They have to flip the script on their self before they're able to flip the script on you. And the way that they do this is they'll start fights. So say you're like a really stand-up person, you don't cause arguments and stuff like that, they'll have to find a way to detach from you emotionally as well, in order to be able to hurt you. Okay? So the way that they do this is, one is through not having sex with you anymore. They will withhold sex from you. They will withhold affection from you. If they used to give you kisses, which I've experienced this one for myself, then they will stop doing that. They'll stop holding your hand on walks. They'll stop going on walks in general. They will start to do these really subtle, really like hurtful, emotionally hurtful things that they know will build up within you to cause you to eventually lash out. So if you usually eat dinner together at the table, they'll start eating by themselves in another room, or they'll just like brush your dinner off entirely, even though they know that that's their favorite meal that you cooked, or that's a meal that you spent a lot of money on, or maybe it took a lot to be able to cook that meal, right? They will intentionally not eat it. Or they'll do something like, since they know you're decent and nice and you want to see people fed, then they will not eat it as long as they're with you, but they'll let you hear them go into the refrigerator to eat that food that you cooked after you lay down to go to bed, right? Just to show you, like, I feel entitled to your shit, but I don't feel entitled to enjoy that shit with you because you're not worthy of me, right? They know that that's going to start to build up within you in here and in here, right? Until you explode, okay? And that's what they want you to do, but they're also doing it not just to pick at you. Here's the kicker. They're not doing that just to pick at you. They're also doing it so they can mentally and emotionally detach from you, so that by the time the discard comes, you are literally an actual inanimate object deserving of the trash can. Okay? That's why they stop having sex with you. It is some, you could say part of it is like cheating and stuff, but they don't really care though that they had sex with someone before they came home from work. They'll still have sex with you if they want to be with you, if they're not through with you. But when they are done with you, meaning they have then secured already a new supply, not just a prospect, they have already probably moved a few items in this bitch's house, right? Whatever it is, it's like locked in. That's when they are allowed in their minds. That's when the green light cuts on for them to blatantly and openly and as harsh as possible begin to disrespect you out loud and consistently on a daily basis, because they have that security blanket already set up, right? All right, so we got that locked down. But what people never really seem to talk about is that narcissists also have to placate themselves in order to be okay with what they are about to do and what they eventually and inevitably do to you, right? And in order to do that, they have to pull themselves away from you. That's what the whole discard phase is, and that's what the whole discard phase is for. And that's why the sexual pullback, not just the pullbacks, actually, they just completely just stop doing it. So it's not just to make you feel like you're some trash and you're ugly as fuck. It's not just that. Although it's part of it, it's also so that they don't have a physical attachment to you anymore. They don't, even if you're good at all the stuff you be doing in the bed, right? Whatever that is, whatever your bed game is, right? They can't risk feeling close to that right now. Right now, they need to not get a blowjob. They need to not get a stellar, like, whatever it is you do. They need you not to be doing them handstands on their whatever part they have down there, right? Because if you keep doing that, they like it way too much for real for them to justify throwing it away. So they have to stop having sex with you. So that's number one. They have to stop eating around you usually. They have to sort of like discard you in every area that brings you together. In every area that has brought you together. They have to not do those things with you because they know that they're about to do something insane. Then they have to sprinkle in, or I would just say grab a handful and throw it on top, but we'll say sprinkle in big ass arguments that they have started, right? And they have to sprinkle that in because they're not concerned with what they have said or done to cause that argument. They need your response to be horrific. They need your response to be they need your negative responses and reactions to them so they can collect that data within themselves to also sprinkle on top of that detachment that they have intentionally created to gaslight themselves, so that all they can think about when they're walking away from you is, yeah, but she did smack me, or he did cut up one of my t-shirts, or she did like do A, B, and C to me. Not he cut up my t-shirt because I set his shoes on fire, or not because or not like she smacked me because she caught me on Tinder when we're married or something. No, they don't think about that. They only save the parts that they need in order to discard you, which is, yeah, she smacked me. Yeah, he cut up my t-shirt. Yeah, they did this. Yeah, he just screamed at me the whole time for hours, but he screamed at you the whole time for hours because he found you were cheating. He screamed at you the whole time for hours because you didn't show up or come home that night and y'all have kids, or even that you just live together, whatever it is. You were disrespectful AF, and that's why you got screamed at. But instead of saying I was disrespectful AF and that's why I got screamed at, it's, oh yeah, but it seems like they're just always yelling. So I am justified in leaving this person high and dry because they are always yelling. Even though you're yelling because of them, again, that's not what they're collecting. They're collecting your responses so they can gaslight themselves. So narcissists are so fucked up that they literally sabotage their own mental health so that they can trick themselves and gaslight themselves into truly believing that they were correct in discarding you. And the torment comes in later because you can't fight demons forever. One of you has got to win. Or if you want to say it like an Italian gangster movie, one of you's has got to go. One of you's can't stay. One of you's gotta win. All right. Now, what is it from? I always use movies. That movie, A Bronx Tale. Now yous can't leave. Yeah. Now yous can't leave. One of y'all, you know what I'm saying, gotta win. And them demons always beat that narcissist. Always. Narcissist is weak. Somehow I hope this made sense, but no one talks about the fact that narcissists don't just do things just focused on tearing you down. I mean, yes, they do. But in the mix of that, they literally have to trick themselves and gaslight themselves. They literally abuse themselves mentally and emotionally in order to even do what it is they do. Now, how does that make sense? Where they do that at? Right? Just to be miserable in the end. If that ain't demonic, I don't know what is. And if that ain't stupid and dumb, I don't know what is. I love you guys. And so when you think about the things that they did to you and all that stuff, remember, they had to literally do it to themselves first. Isn't that crazy? Love you. All right.